Hello and welcome to my VB Gamma graphics tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're gonna try create a visual like this one. So this is a patch that I created like a year ago or maybe more when Fuse was actually released. Spent some time playing around with it and yeah, it came out to be pretty cool. This technique was something that I've been playing around with beta as well, but in Fuse you can do this really quickly and you have more control and a lot of parameters. So let's try recreating this one. I mean, I'm not going deep with all this shiny stuff and this curvy edge, because I did that sort of something similar for the last tutorial, or maybe I'll share how to do this nice pattern curving thing in the future. But for now, we're trying to make this texture. So shader stuff is happening today. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I have my patch here. I'll open up Sketch. I'm too lazy to always just start everything from scratch, so I made a very simple sample patch that has skybox, ambient light, so I can switch these two if I don't need a background. I just switch to ambient light. There's direction light. I use this all the time because without this, I don't see the shadow, which I really need. This is the spotlight that's being positioned in 3 different directions. So if I want to take something that's a bit studio-like lighting, then I'll just use these 3. For now, I might not need it, so I just turn it off, save this as a default patch so that I can always bring this out. Just make sure to save it with different name, but yeah, it's all good setup. So to reach out that shader, first of all, I want to share you a bit about the shader. So today we're going to be using Fuse. If you haven't installed Fuse, please install Fuse. Maybe this one's a bit too small. Yeah, I'm trying to play around with the resolution for my screen, so for today it might be a bit small, but please forgive me. And what I want to do today is I don't need these 2, so I just delete one. This one is called target. So I'll add a node called shader. What was it? There is what was it called? Simple. Should have simple at the end. Oh, draw shader graph, sorry. Draw shader graph, and I'm gonna get my extension, key and mouse display. So draw shader graph, and there's this simple one. So I'm gonna call this one and connect this one to a mesh entity. No, mesh renderer. And I'm gonna connect this one here. And I'll also read a render entity because I need to connect this as an entity to the root scene. So this, and here we go. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do some shader stuff. So this is a position and this is the color. So I'm not really good at explaining this kind of stuff. I'm not really 100% understanding what I'm doing. But if you go to this help browser, if you type Fuse, there is this overview, what is Fuse and basic workflow. If you open up basic workflow, it explains like the basic workflow of what's happening, like what is Fuse, and this is what it's actually doing. So if you feed a position to it, it distorts the position based on the sphere mesh, and you can also apply different colors. So I'm going to play with that for now. So first of all, I need a sphere mesh, because mesh renderer at the moment doesn't know what kind of shape they want to draw. So I'll just feed a sphere mesh. And right now the color is 00001, so it's nothing. Position, there's nothing here as well, so I'll add a position first to make sure that the position of this sphere mesh will be feeded here. So position, and this one. Then there's Fuse variable, so this one should bring, so it's bringing up the position from the sphere mesh and it's feeding again to this shader graph so that it knows the position to draw a mesh. I guess I'm correct. Yeah, so next up, what I want to do is I want to add a color. So as you can see now I can control R, G, B from here. But I want to do, first of all, what I want to do is I just try feeding the position to the color. So now as you can see, it's the sphere got colored based on the position. So this part is blue. I think it's like XYZ has different colors and that's how it's being mapped. I'm not really sure with the detailed color. Oh, sorry. I forgot to bring back the monitor. So this is what I did. So I feed it, there is a node called position, and then there's fuse variable. So I got this one and I connect these to the position for draw shader graph and the color. And this is the result I got based on the word position. Okay, so next up, what I want to do is I want to make this. And what I did here was I basically mapped, I kind of like repeated the y-axis color to make this black line. So what I did is, let's go back to the patch window. There's a node called Y. And what it does is that, as you can see right now, it says it's shader node vector 4. If the window's a bit too small, so you might not be able to see, but the output it's getting is a vector 4. I just need the Y because I want to do some tricks on the Y-axis. So just get the Y, and then I'll multiply that with multiply math. If you're using the fuse math, make sure that you're using this one that says math. And then I'll multiply, for example, to 100. And then I'll add a sine node. This repeats the y-axis based on sine, so black and white, and that kind of way will be repeated. So it's not just 0 to 1, it's like 0 to 0, but 1 in the middle so that it keeps making that pattern. And then I'll add an xz plus y. So since this is a vector 4, I need to add a vector 4 here. So as you can see, the result is already pretty cool. So I get this pattern. So as you can see now, if as much as I get more patterns. I just 100 for here. Super cool. I might keep this out just to see what's happening. So just have this one here. And then I'll add an xy plus xz plus y, and this is also a math node. It's called swizzle. If you're interested in this, if you go to the help browser, there is a description for swizzle. So just check that one. But I'll add this xz plus y, and then still this one is a vector 3 because it only has xyz. I'll add an xyz plus w. W is the force value. By doing this, I should be able to connect this to the color. Yeah, there we go. So once it got connected, as you can see, it's all working. One problem that I'm having right now is that the color I got is RGB. Oh wait, this is B, right? So I get this color on a Y, RG, so green, yeah. So the green is being signed. So right now this color is not something I want. I'll just make it white. So if I add XY a 1, then it gets pink. Oh, this is weird. It's not weird. I'm just not smart enough to solve this problem. Oh, let's try something else. 2 vector 4 value conversion. And what happens if I connect this one? Yeah, here we go. So now I got a black one, black and white one. So what I just did is instead of applying it to color, I just said, okay, everything, just just feed this black and white color to all vector 4. So x, y, x plus y plus z plus w. I think I'm doing exactly the same thing as this. So I'm feeding the same value to everything so that yeah, same. So this is what I did. There is a node to convert a float to a vector 4, but basically what I did is exactly the same as what you see here. So it's 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So the result should be this. Okay, so I think I got what I want, and if I add some sort of distortion here, then I should be able to get a distorted object with this kind of texture. Or I can, let's do something different. Let's add a lerp node here. And I'm gonna lerp a color, so vector 2, vector 4, and RGB to the lerp 1 and lerp 2. And I'll control the color. So what I'm trying to do is, based on this black and white, I want to lerp the color. So I think I explained lerp in the last tutorial, but it lerps with these colors. So it takes this value as 0, 1 and says, okay, this one is this color, so I'll just make it red, and this one is blue. So it lerps when it's 0, then it's this one. It's when it's 1 in here, and then it gives me more control on what I want to do. Okay, this is great. This is what I wanted to have. So last thing I'm gonna add is I'm gonna distort this sphere. Oh, and I'm gonna add a tessellation here, or maybe not later on. So next what we can do is, this is also something I learned from the help patch. What is fuse? So if you not this one, from the help patch fuse basic workflow. So we're gonna be doing this. So what they're doing here is they use position to the noise and then adding some noise to the position and then multiplying that to the sphere position that they're getting from here. So we'll do something similar. I mean, exactly the same, to distort this guy with this y-axis repeated texture. So first I'll use this node called noise, and I think vector 3D vector should be fine, and XYZ, because I only need a vector 3, then this one has a vector 4, so I'm gonna get the position of this sphere, feed that to the noise, and then I'll multiply this by math. But the problem is, okay, yep, now this should work. And XY plus Z, XYZ plus W, join, yep. I'm not sure what W is doing for the position, so I'll just keep it empty. And then I'll connect this one to draw shader graphs. Yeah. So now as you can see, it got distorted. Worked pretty fine. Without this position feeded, noise doesn't do anything because it doesn't know like what to distort. But once you have these as a position, noise knows what to distort. So this works. Okay, now that we have this, we can play around with the frequency and the amplitude. So yeah, frequency is pretty flat. I do have a problem. So right now it's okay, but I want to keep the shape of the sphere here. And this guy is just distorting everything too much. So what I would do is I'll add a +1, and then I'll add this +1 in between this XYZ and multiply, and I'll just add 1 here. Wait a second. Am I doing it right? I'll use a different one. I'll use a math, just scalar plus scalar one. Yep. So now I think it's getting distorted more bit with the basic shape, or not really. This should come here, getting multiplied by 1. Oh, I think I put it wrong. I think it should be here. Yeah, this is correct. So now if I amplitude, yeah, it keeps the shape of the sphere a little bit more. Because this noise, the value of, I mean, if I convert it to value, the value could be like -1 or something. And that was the reason why the sphere was going inside and outside. So I just added +1. I think you can do this by using this node called 1- as well. Not sure. Yep. Yeah, this works. Oh, I think this is better. Yeah, I'll just add a 1-. Yep, so now it got more, so the shape is now based on the sphere, so it looks better. Okay, I'm getting close. Let's multiply a little bit more. So the next problem that I'm seeing here is that our visual that I had here, it had more smooth edges. I mean, I did this using SDF and I didn't do it using geometry, so it's totally different, but I want to make it a bit more smooth like this one. To do so, I will add a tessellation. So right now the tessellation is 16. And what this means is that wireframe, can I connect a wireframe here? Yeah, so as you can see, this sphere, I'll just remove this multiply just for now. So as you can see right now, this tessellation, so the edge is, the amount of edge is this. If I increase this like 100, the sphere gets more detailed. And this detail is important when you're distorting, because if it only has like few amount of vertices, what happens when you distort is that it just gets distorted based on these positions. I mean vertices. So it's not smooth, but if I multiply this or increase this to like 100 or maybe 200, then the sphere gets more detailed and this distortion gets more smooth. I don't think I like this 1-. Maybe I'll just put it back to the scalar +1. Yeah, this is better. I don't know why 1- had this weird this artifact on the top, and I don't like that, so I just bring it back to +1. Okay, now it's more smooth. Oh well, I get the artifact on the bottom, but bottom I don't really care. So yeah, so I explained about the tessellation and the wireframe. Sorry, my baby is knocking the door. Yeah, so now we've got this. We can play around with this frequency and the amplitude, and now we can distort this guy a little bit more. And the sphere keeps having this y-axis color mapped. So as you can see, if you see it from the top, this part gets, extended, squeezed, I don't know how to say. And it gives this really nice feeling. So now let's change the color to something you want to make it look a bit more interesting. Yeah, well, it's hard to choose. I just keep it blue. And also, I don't really like this blurry edge. And this is because this value has 0 to 1, and it's a float value, so it has 0.1, 0.2, and that kind of stuff. I think I can avoid this using frac node. Oh yeah, now it got sharp, but it's way too sharp. Maybe I'll just decrease this. Oh, this is not what I want. It's different. Oh, well, this is cool. So by using frac, it gives me more. No. This is not what I wanted to do. I'll just add frac here. Oh, well. This is not what I was expecting. I thought frac just gives me a value. Wait, let's try. So when frac input is 1, then it gives me 1 and 0, 0. So this is what frac should actually do. And so I thought if I just feed this guy, it only gives me 0 and 1. So no values in between, just 0 and 1 to make it more sharp. But the result was different. But that's the fun part of vvvv. I'll just keep it like this and make this one 100. Ah, this is cool. So the result is different if I put it here or if I put it on top. Yeah, the result is different. This is interesting. Oh, well, I'm enjoying it. I'm not complaining anything. This is fun part of vvvv, so let's play around with this. So I'll just put this one here because I like it. It's at the bottom. And I'll increase the value to like 60. Ooh, nice. It gets more noisy. Yeah, this is cool. So we change the color to something different. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Yeah, and in this case, I don't like the background for the skybox, so I'll change it to the ambient light. Oh, stop. Okay. Okay, now I can change the shape. I'll add an integrator to the timer. And I'll add a 0.01 here to animate this shape. Yeah, this is pretty nice. It's something that I was expecting. The way it got distorted is a bit different. Maybe I can get the z-axis here. Let's take the z from the position, if that fixes. Oh, it got bigger. What happened? Oh, wow. Oh, no, sorry. It's W, not Z. XYZ minus W. Yeah, let's use this one. And use it here. Replace this one, because I have the XYZ here. But I can also get the W. Oh, yeah. So W was the thing. No, it wasn't. It didn't get fixed. Well, it's not a big deal for me, so just keep it like this. There should be a way to solve this distortion. I think I did solve this, but for now I'm just too lazy to go into that. Yep. So we got this shape, we got this pattern repeated on the y-axis. If you change this to z, for example, then you should be able to do it on the z-axis if you want. Also, if you change the sphere mesh to, for example, torus mesh, yeah, we get a nice shape with torus with distortion. It's looking pretty cool. What else can we do? Position Y, X, Y, Z, lerping the color. Should know the position. What if I disconnect this one? Yeah, this should be pretty much it, I guess. So, but by using this y, getting the y, multiplying with sine and that kind of stuff, you can actually get a really nice result. So, yeah, I hope you liked it. This can also be applied to, for example, like if you want to do something with particles, this math thing, getting the y-axis, applying back, getting the y-axis from the position and applying this will really help when you're doing stuff on Fuse. So I think it's good to understand what's happening behind this in Fuse. Okay, now I add some lighting. Did it change? Not really. Oh, it doesn't get the light effect, right? Yeah, so this shader, draw shader graph thing doesn't get the light applied because there's no material, for example, here. Yeah, there's no material that you can feed, and that's the reason why we're controlling the things from the color. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I mean, playing with this draw shader graph thing is quite interesting, and you can. It's also good for studying, like trying to understand how shaders work. So if you're not familiar with shader, this is the way to start probably. Okay, so yeah, that was it for today. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked it, please press like. That will be a really good support for me to keep continuing this tutorial series. And if you have any topic that you want me to share, I mean, as far as it's something that I can follow, I'll try following that topic as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.